You played some football. You wrestling too? Am I right about that?
I ended up doing basketball and track in high school.
Okay. And you played for your dad? Is that right?
Yes,
What's that like?
Yes, sir. It was just great. My whole life. It's like I always make a joke. Some people have a coach from 5 to 8. I have a coach 24/7. At home, getting yelled at. But that's what I love. That's part of the reason too why I chose here, because Coach Wolf reminded me a lot of my dad. Just he gets on you, but it's good for you.
So that was my question, because she also said that Coach Wolf lives up to his name. Is that fair? That Coach Wolf is a Wolf?
100%. Coach Wolf is his own himself. He's Mr. Wolford.
A lot of what Coach Stoops talked about in there was getting tougher. Is that right up your alley as an offensive lineman? Whenever you hear the head coach saying we got to get tougher in the trenches,
that's everything. Especially in this league, if you want to win games, you got to finish blocks. You got to keep your quarterback clean. It's all mental toughness. In the end of the day, it gets to be physical, but when it's the end of that fourth quarter, and you got to put a game-winning drive together, it's mental mistakes kill you. So like when he says tough, we talk a lot about the weight room, but a lot of it too is just mental toughness. Fourth quarter drills today, everything. It's all a challenge of our mental toughness and to see how well we work together.
I know for a lot of guys coming in on the line, a lot of it is just like got to get bigger to keep up with the SEC guys. So what's that look like for you? You trying to throw up, gain 30 more pounds, or how's that go?
Yeah, that's how it's going to go. Definitely, this year is going to be a huge development year. After talking and meeting with the coaches, they want to develop me for a year, and hopefully I can put on 25, 30 pounds, be a big SEC tackle, and get right into the fire.
Your brother played Eastern Michigan, correct?
Yeah, he's still there right now.
He's still there now? What, is he a lineman too?
Yes, sir.
So how did your parents feed you?
They fed us good. Lots of milk, lots of food, lots of steak. Our freezer was always full.
Whole milk, right? Or 2%?
Nah, we were 2%.
2%, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, the whole milk is a little too filling. But you talked about your relationship with Coach Wolf. What else about Kentucky drew you here?
Definitely just like the culture. I've seen the culture before. This year was something else, but I want to be a part of a change. I want to help build something, and here, especially with the Big Blue Nation fan base backing us up, and the team we built together from transfers, freshmen, and the old guys coming back, it's huge this year. I honestly think that we've flipped the whole script from last year. Last year was last year. We don't even talk about last year now. All we're talking about is that week one and getting ourselves ready for it. This family atmosphere. I mean, I've only been here for a month, and I feel like everybody's my brother here. And that's what I wanted when I was getting recruited. I wanted to be a part of a family, because when you have that family bond together, you're just even more stronger. Your 100%, his 100% turns into you guys both going 110%, because you want to play for the guy next to you. That's what Coach Hood talks about. It's huge, play for the guy next to you.
Awesome, man, dude. I appreciate it. Good to meet you. And get some mitts on you, man.
A little bit. To get better, a great opportunity to just work on myself and work with my teammates to be the best team that we can. And yeah, I'm feeling great now. It's new home. I'm getting used to a lot of things, getting used to new program, new coaches and everything, but I think I'm having a good time, and I'm really happy to be here.
How cool is it that they actually targeted you and came after you to come here?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I mean, as you all know, in Northern Kentucky, there's a lot of UK fans there, and just the support that I got from people in my neighborhood and friends and family and everything. It was definitely really cool to kind of grow up like that. Everybody's a UK fan, and to finally be able to play for the school, and everybody just wants the best for you. It's a great feeling, and it's something I gotta step up and do. Because that's another little thing. I feel like I can't let people down. So it's a big thing for me this year.
Biggest difference from coming to Bowling Green here from Western, I should say, to here with the coaching staff or what you've been through. And I know it's only been a couple of weeks and you've only been out in sweats and stuff. But biggest difference so far?
Yeah, the line guys. Everybody's big. Everybody's strong. Everybody's fast. We do a lot of muscle conditioning, and we do a lot of workouts with a lot of reps and a lot of sets, And that's one of the biggest differences, like fundamentally, from like the strength program from WKU where I was at to here at UK. You know, I think it also has to do with like the conference that you're playing in. You know, at Western we try to perfect like our craft and have weight room like workouts that directly translated to the field at whatever like way we could. And here it's like you got to get bigger, you got to get faster, you got to get stronger, you got to be able to do all the things that I was able to do at my old school, but you also have to be able to apply what we do here to the field, and that's something I'm gearing up and getting ready to do.
Continuity is so important in the offensive line. Is there enough time to get that? And again, you guys are a little bit older. Most of you have well, everybody they brought in has obviously played before, but is there enough time to get to be where you want to be when the season starts?
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's nothing but opportunity here, and at the end of the day, it all just amounts to what are you willing to do? What are you willing to work on? How often are you willing to come in and get extra work? How often are you coming in and getting recovery when everybody's out? Like it's just little things like that, and I've been able to get into a good rhythm of that, and you know, working on my body and working on the thing that got me here so that I can stay here and excel at this level.
Evan, is there a weight you're trying to get to this offseason before the season arrives?
No. All I know is I got to gain weight.
Yeah.
So, you know, I played last season at around 295, 292-ish.
Yeah.
But, you know, a couple days ago, I just weighed in at 305, and I feel like I'm moving now better than ever. And I feel like I'm able to work out and be conditioned and move like I was at 292, 295, now being at 305.
Yeah. Do you they believe at WKU you're very much spread, kind of that, in the Kentucky's more pro style? Has there been a learning curve for you going to that, or is it similar? How do you feel like you're adapting to this new playbook?
At the end of the day, football is football.
Right.
And, you know, there's a lot of different names for plays and schemes that we have, but at the end of the day, if you knew how to do it at one school, it's just you just got to remember it's a different name, and then you just do it again at your next school. So part of that, I think that it's been very similar, because there's a lot of the same plays that we run, which is, I feel like probably a big reason why they wanted me here is because, you know, Eli Cox last year, he was their guy. Now he's going to the draft, and they wanted someone who kind of understood what the offense needs, what the offensive line coach wants from them, because if you're bringing in a guy who's never ran like outside zone or counter or anything in your life, like probably not a great fit. But when I was at Western, you know, I was blessed to have been part of a great staff, and I feel like they prepared me for this next level.
What were the conversations like as a local guy who like didn't have the opportunity to play here out of high school when they come back at you 2 years later and say, oh, maybe we missed on you out of high school, we should have recruited you? What is that recruiting pitch like?
Well, I mean, a lot of it, it's not like, oh, we didn't recruit you. It's like in college football, coaching staffs it's a revolving carousel. And so this staff, obviously Coach Stoops is here, but not the offensive line coach. I believe at the time they had John Schlarman, rest in peace to him. But, you know, they come back and they're like, hey, there's a great opportunity here waiting for you, and we want you to come take it. At the end of the day, you know, it takes a lot of prayer and talk with your families and talks with your friends, talks with yourself. And, you know, at the end of the day, I felt like this was the right decision for me, and I kind of knew it early on. And although the words might not have been, hey, sorry we passed on you before, it's, hey, come on, let's get better. Like, we're gonna take you to the level that you need to be, and you're gonna help us get to the place where we want to be.
Northern Kentucky's kind of mixed territory. Did you grow up in Kentucky? You took it right down to the wire to make this decision. What was going through your mind, and what finally put Kentucky over the top?
Well, I feel like a lot of other universities were, I guess, not taking me seriously, or the ship had already sailed for a lot of them, but Kentucky still offered their hand. And Coach Stoops is a statesman. He's a very genuine man, and I placed a lot of my trust into him in my final decision with him.
How much was the relationship with Coach Wolford part of that too?
My relationship with him, I mean, it started at the start of the year. He lives up to his name. He's Wolf. He's cunning. He's keen. He's pretty sharp. I like that about him.
There's a lot of guys from Las Cruces that went to Vanderbilt. Did they try to pull you that direction as well?
Yeah, actually, I toured at Nashville, or I did an official visit, it was good to see my former coaches there, former teammates. It was good to reconnect, but it just wasn't the right fit for me in terms of their offensive scheme. And I wanted something, I guess, different from, I guess, New Mexico / Vanderbilt's offensive scheme. So.
Well, how challenging was it having the year that you had 2 seasons ago and then not being able to play for, half the year last year?
It was definitely a challenge, but I still approached it like I would any other season. I'm still playing football out there, whether I'm actually not playing football or not. I sustained a pretty heavy injury, and I had to kind of come to terms with that, face reality, and work my ass off when it comes to rehabilitation and getting myself battle ready. Yeah.
Were you always planning to enroll in the spring, or did that kind of come up late in the process?
Planning to enroll in the spring.
Yeah, were you planning to go to your new school in spring, or were you planning to transfer in the summer originally? Like there were some conflicting
originally I was trying to stake it out at NMSU.
Yeah.
But recent changes within the coaching staff at NMSU, notably my offensive line coach, he took off to OSU, and that kind of left me with, I guess, a decision of multiple opportunities, and I guess to be in that position was very stressful, but again, super grateful for it, to have those choices.
You committed to Kentucky and played in your bowl game. Why?
I didn't plan on it.
You didn't? Oh, no. Okay.
I was planning on it, and then I got really nervous, and just the whole process of moving, and then a little time off to rest to get in there, and then it just logistically it was really hard. And so I'm glad. I mean, I love those guys, been with them forever, but it just made sense, and all the players, they knew, you're good, don't worry about it. So
and I'm sure that's part of the transfer anxiety too.
No, yeah.
Leaving those guys behind, the logistics.
Mm-hmm.
You played a lot of football.
Yeah.
What was it feels like you kind of kept stepping up a ladder. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
And what's helped you kind of keep taking steps forward? Some people just hit a wall,
Yeah, no, I think it's honestly just experience each year, and on top of it, every year or two I had a new coach. So my freshman year I had Terry Malone, and he left, and then it was Chris Hedden, and he left, and then it was Greg Nosal, and he's still there. And so each year it was just kind of a different aspect to coaching and how things are done, and so it wasn't becoming in a sense monotonous. You weren't like, this is the footwork, I know how to do it. It's not the same. It was each time it felt like it got more analytical, and now even with Wolf, he's breaking it down to another level. So it's kind of just every couple years I feel like I'm relearning the game of football, just on how to do things, and I feel like that kind of helps. You learn little tips and tricks each year, and on top of just experience. Every snap, either in the off season or in the season, just builds upon it. So
you felt like you had a real big jump last year, maybe on MAC honors.
A what? Sorry.
Like you had a real big jump level of play.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're all MAC right tackle. What was kind of went into that?
I think the room at Bowling Green really kind of bonded a lot more, and I think that helps if you know the guy next to you is going to be able to get his job done. I think that helps you get your job done, and it also helps, I know if Josh is next to me, or Jagger, or whoever it is, Jalen, I know I can rely on him to help me in my, whatever my con of my play would be, and I think just, having that good room and those guys next to you can really help you. And that just, they make you look good, you make them look good. You got a bad O-line but a great running back, they're going to make the line look good. You got a good line, not as good running back, they're going to make the running back look good. So I think that helps a lot too. But
what's been that coming together process like for you guys? Where you have all played a lot of ball, but it's brand new. It's brand new.
No, I think, we've all played. We're all kind of new, it feels like. I've known these guys for 2 months, but it's been easy. Coach Wolf recruited, I feel like, a good room that likes people, doesn't try to be quiet. Friday we go out to eat after our lift, go to Dad's or wherever, just a restaurant, Waffle House, just eat some food, trying to get our meals together. So we're just talking, not on the football field, learning about each other, going out to dinner with our girlfriends or something, going on meeting each other's dogs or whatever it is. So I feel like that helps off the field. And, if you know the person personally next to you, you're going to want to do better for them, because you're not only disappointing them as a player, but also as, a friend. So
she always said that Coach Wolf lives up to his name. Is that fair? Is Coach Wolf a Wolf?
I'd say so. You know, it's good though. It's a good thing to have. Like he's an intense coach, but I like it. You know, I like him coaching me as intense as he should, and I feel like that's what you want in a coach. You don't want a coach who's not getting on you, because then they're not getting on you. You're obviously not doing something right, and they just start moving past you. So
there was a lot of talk about leadership or lack thereof last year. Is there any hesitation to speak up or anything, knowing that you're coming into a new situation?
Me myself, I feel like I'm a little bit of an introvert. I like to lead kind of by example. You know, it's been one of I'd say my biggest struggle. I know I was captain last year at my old school, and I tried to voice a little more, but you know, I don't think it's a lack of. You know, I think, you know, you don't want to speak up too soon, because you haven't earned you want to earn the respect of the others before you just start barking orders, kind of. You want to know they respect you, and so I don't think so. I think now that we've started OTAs and mat drills, and you'll see people struggling, and they'll see you struggling with them, I think the encouraging and bringing people along it'll come naturally, I think. And I think Soups and Wolf and all the coaches have done a great job recruiting guys now who want that good culture to strive forward and, you know, reach for a championship and just win games, you know. So
Are you gonna miss Tuesday nights football games?
Action? Nah, yeah. It's a love-hate, you know. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not. I will not miss, you know, getting back at 1 in the morning and then having class at 8 in the morning or noon the next day. So won't miss that. But you know, I mean, Maction's Maction. Everybody loves it. So.
Right. Well, I know you at A&M, and I think there was Auburn one of them.
Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Can you how much can you feel the step up, and is it as drastic as some might think?
I think it comes down to the speed of the game, you know. I mean, even Wolf said it when he recruited me. We started with Penn State, and then it was Texas A&M. And Penn State, it was almost like I was lagging behind a little. And then at A&M, since I already played Penn State, I got used to the speed more. And A&M, he said I played better. But, you know, you can feel it. It's definitely just the speed of play, I feel like, increases. And those are the types of games as like a MAC player where you just had to make sure you were dialed in, because you need to not think about the play at all. You just got to be dialed into, all right, what's this guy going to do? What's his tell, this and that. So, but no, you can feel it. I don't think it's terrible though. So I got to get used to it this year. It's going to be every game.
Exactly.
Talk about A&M going to get.
You're one of the old guys. There's a lot of old guys in here. Is it old but new? Is that kind of a weird dynamic where it's like we've all played a lot of football even though it wasn't together?
Yeah. No, it's definitely not a challenge, but it's definitely different. I mean, you got like me, Alex, and Jagger have been around college football for 5-6 years, and so I actually knew of Zach Calzada, the quarterback, when he was at A&M, and so it's been quite a whirlwind my whole career, just throughout college football as a whole. But it's definitely strange.
Is there? I mean, this is third SEC school. Like, do you get can you walk on a place and get a sense of how it is? And like, I don't want you to like, well, Florida sucked or Arkansas did, but like, is there a different kind of vibe whenever you go into a new spot like that?
Yes and no. I mean, if you want to compete in the SEC, some things have to be constant. And if you walk into a place and you do have those misgivings, then that's probably not a place you should be. And so I like to say that there's not much difference between SEC schools, at least where I've been. It's just the little nuances that are there that separate the winners from the losers. And so if you have drastic changes program to program, that could be sort of a warning sign. Because across the SEC, you're going to have basically the same thing. And I think you've seen that just with the Saban coaching tree. Now Coach Smart at Georgia, how it's sort of radiating throughout the conference. And so I think there are things different at each school, which are very small, but those small things have a huge impact.
What's one of those small things here that could have a huge impact?
I think how we treat mobility is probably best in the conference. There's an emphasis on mobility here that has not been as emphasized at schools I've been at in the past. And so I think that's going to be a difference maker, just with the hip bend, the leverage, especially on the offensive line, being able to get underneath people. I think that's going to be key.
Have you I know it's at 16 teams now, but you might be able to check off all the stadiums, right?
So after this season, I'll have played in every SEC stadium except for Texas and Oklahoma. But my brother played at Texas, so I've been to the stadium.
Okay.
I had a buddy who played at Oklahoma, but I wasn't able to go to a game. So the only SEC stadium I have not been in is Oklahoma.
Okay, all right. Did you have a personal favorite?
Sure, excluding the teams I've played for.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah, you can't, that's cheating. Right.
I think South Carolina has the best atmosphere. So the two stadiums I would play at every year if I could are South Carolina and Tennessee. I think those are great.
Okay.
I wasn't a huge fan of LSU or Alabama. I didn't think they were very big, but I didn't think they lived up to the hype.
I can agree with South Carolina. Very underrated compared to, they get the chicken crowing and all that stuff going on.
Now, Tennessee may have just been because it was a big rivalry game.
Fair.
When I played there. But
you don't have to go back, though, fortunately. We don't like that place very much up there. She also said that Coach Wolf is like a wolf. Is that a fair assessment? He lives up to his name?
He does live up to his name, indeed.
What's that? Do you like that sort of style? Or how do you think it can be beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, I think if I didn't like this style of coaching, and if any of the offensive linemen don't like this style of coaching, especially the transfers, I think you made a huge mistake in coming here, because that means you didn't do your due diligence and you didn't examine your option. Coach Wolf is exactly how he sounds. His reputation, he lives up to his reputation. And I think, yes, the practices and the meetings are going to be intense, but I think they will pay dividends on Saturdays when the bullets are flying. It's a high-stress environment, and since he's able to replicate that in practice and in meetings, you're going to be able to deal with it much more efficiently and be able to execute under the stresses of game day.
Obviously, he was a big part of why you decided to come here, but how much of the offensive line emphasis from the fan base, you're all anybody wants to talk about right now, is the new offensive line guys. Are they going to be better? How much Kentucky kind of holds that to a higher esteem? They really build up their offensive line. Did that have any draw? Does that add any more motivation to your daily grind or anything like that?
Yeah, I think everyone likes to be recognized for the work that they put in and the results they achieve. And I think at Kentucky, more so than most places, you will be recognized. And I think that's valuable, whether from an ego standpoint or just, when things are going well, it's going to be great. And you're going to love the pats on the back, but you have to be able to not ride the wave, but stay at a constant level. And so when things are going well, you have to be able to take what the fans and the media is saying and put it in a box. And when things are not going well, you have to take what the fans are saying and the media is saying and put it in a box. And you can't open them until the season's over, because you can have a win at the beginning of the season that everyone's like, oh, that's a fantastic win. We're going to be looking at that win forever. And then at the end of the season, you're like, oh, well, that win wasn't as good as we thought it was. And you're going to have a devastating loss that ends up not being as devastating as you thought it was at the end of the season. And so you can't ride the wave. You have to stay even-keeled.
Last question, because I'm sure you're tired of talking. Are you ever going to get tired of going to college?
I would say yes, but I plan on going back to college when I'm done playing football for 3 years.
Oh, wow. So sounds exhausting.
I try. I mean, I can say I get tired of college, but I can't seem to escape it. So
what's the coming back for 3 years going to be?
So I plan on going to seminary when I'm done and getting a Master's of Divinity, and then ultimately I want to get a doctorate in theology.
Okay. Is preaching in your future?
In one way or another. I don't know exactly which path or which form it will take, whether it's missions work, translation, or pulpit preaching, but we'll just see where the Lord takes me.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Did you record it? I mean, like video?
No.
I'm going to sit down. Sorry.